All right, so after making my first experiment with the Suno AI using the free version, I decided to try out I think it's the Pro version, the $8 a month, I think, version, and to run some more experiments. So I wanted to give it another one of my song ideas. In this case, it was not a full song yet. It has the whole structure, but it's not something I have recorded before. It has no lyrics, for instance. The only recording here is I have two acoustic guitars that I recorded. I recorded one, and then I recorded another one on top of it. It's an 8-minute long piece. It's called Six Elements because there are six parts in my mind when I was putting this together. And let me first show you where it comes from. Like this, the recording I'm gonna play here is one that I recorded in 2013. It's been 13 years as of this video now. Let me play it so you can hear what what it sounds like. I will not play the entire 8 minutes, just about a minute and something into it. And so I had to relearn. I barely just relearn before starting this recording. So it's something like this. I remember I was messing with this, like sliding for this melody, something like. Something like that. Don't quite remember how I played that all those years ago. Two guitars here. Something like. Something like that. So I was playing with something like this. There you go. Something like that. It's as far as I relearned, because what happens is, so what is it, about a minute and 13 seconds into it, that's what Suno AI decided to work with. So let me show you. It pretty much it ignored everything else. I don't remember what the prompt was. I was and I am still trying to learn how to use the tool, But the first version, notice it's a 2-minute version, and it read it or analyzed it as a folk, rock, and acoustic pop, acoustic guitar, electric guitar, bass guitar, and drums. Like, I didn't give it any of that. Again, I don't remember what my prompt was, but this is what one of the versions that came out. I kind of like the like light distorted electric guitar, and it played exactly the melody that I had on the acoustic guitar. I really like the drumming pattern here. All these years I've listened to this recording that I just played with the acoustic guitar. I never really, or I don't remember thinking about what the drums would sound like. I was focused on the acoustic guitars, and when I heard this, like, okay, it has the kind of syncopated feel where it's kind of hard to find the one there. And then I really like the drums, the way it came out with the offbeat. I don't know how to say it. I don't even know how to count something like this. This is where my music theory already falls short. Kind of like it. It's like the instrumental and the melody motif, if you will. It's pretty much what I wrote. And as I explained in the other video, what I'm trying to do here, to accomplish here, is to give an AI tool like this one of my songs, and then have it orchestrated, give me a slightly different perspective of my own music, maybe have it play as a background track. So I kept going through this experiment. Let me show you some of the other versions. I like, again, the slightly distorted guitar sound here, just a little bit of overdrive. I like how it's using the slides and some ghost notes. It has a nice touch. It's interesting how it does sound like it's something I would play, like if I picked up the electric guitar. That's kind of like what I would go with it. Very interesting. Nice. Let's see this other one. very similar. Yeah, these are very similar. There was one, maybe this one, where it changed the pattern slightly in a way that to me it was surprising. It was different. This one, it put the accent in a different spot than what the other ones had, the one I had originally. And it put it like on the upbeat, which I thought it was I enjoyed it. It's like, okay, it's a different, if I revisit this song and expand it, I would go into a variation kind of like this. Kind of like the drum. It went for like a straight drum pattern. It sounds different than from the other ones, but I like it. So, anyways, what I was trying to get to is, okay, I want a version where there are no drums. It's more orchestrated, and it shows here emotional crescendos, melancholic melody, emotional strings, because I wanted something a little bit more symphonic, if you will. Again, I should have saved the prompt, but this is what it came up with, which was closer to my original intent. Like those strings, that was kind of like what I was hoping to get in some of the first ones. I probably didn't prompt in a way to make that happen. So this kind of orchestration is the thing that I mentioned in the first video that I've been wanting to do with some of my music, but I don't have the skills to pull something like that off. I don't have the instruments. It's not something that I can do, but I can hear it in my head. This kind of arrangement is what I could hear in my head, and I like how it came out. I think I skipped this one. So going through those experiments, I did enjoy some of the things that came up. I do need to learn how to take like the entire 8-minute piece and figure out how to actually end up having that long version. I may need to go like to the Premiere version, which gives me access to Studio to then break things down into individual tracks and all that, but I'm not gonna be spending that kind of money on this yet. But one final example or experiment that I did here, I wanted to throw some vocals here to see what it would do with that. So what I did was to I think I went on Gemini and asked Gemini to explain the style of one of my favorite singers, and then with the description of that, the style and the kind of delivery, that's what I prompted into Suno, and then it came up with some interesting things. Let me just hit pause because I want to prepare something else to also show it here. All right, I'm back. Here you go. So prompted it and got the following.
Gap the mind, mind the discord, nourish the mind of all things. Never mind lies, never mind. Beware the void that lies ahead, beware the empty lies ahead.
I mean, that was crazy. Like right from the start, like getting like when I heard the breathing of the AI singer coming in. I mean, that is insane.
The mind, gap the mind, mind the discord, nourish the mind of all things. Never mind lies, never mind. Beware the void that lies ahead, beware the empty lies ahead.
Like I was very surprised with the quality of that. By the way, the lyrics, I had some fragments of ideas for lyrics that I always collect over the years. So for this one, I just went through my some of my ideas, picked up a few sentences from here and there and dropped it and said, okay, here's the lyric, here are the lyrics, here's the vocal style, and I came up with that. Like, okay, that's pretty impressive. And then I tried to edit it in just make some changes and I ended up messing it up. Like here, it just cut off and it went someplace else. So yeah, it just cut off from what it was doing. I completely butchered the editing, but it went into a different version for the second half. But then I wanted to explore that more because that, like, when I heard that singing there, I thought, whoa, that is powerful. So then I tried another one, and this second one, I've been listening to it quite a bit. Check this out.
Gap the mind, mind the discord, nourish the mind of all things. Never mind lies, never mind. Beware the void that lies ahead, beware the empty
So that is um very much not my, like the second half there is not something that's in my original with all the distorted guitar and all that, but I did like that. There are so many elements there that I like. Um, but then some things that just came to mind. Let me hit pause and prepare another video here. Okay, here we go. So one thing that that version reminded me is one of my favorite songs by Dimo Borger. Right, heavy with the orchestration. And for the singing, this part here. I always loved this song, so it reminded me of those two things. So let's go back there. Sorry, that one.
Gap the mind. Mind the discord. Nourish the mind of all things. Never mind lies, never mind. Beware the void that lies ahead. Beware the empty lies ahead.
Okay, that part going into the opera thing, that reminded me of this. If you haven't listened to Dimash, I don't know, I'm not gonna even try to pronounce his last name. Dimash, he sings like mind-blowing things, and then there's this one opera style that he brings here. That's what that part made me think. Like, I love this breakdown, this whole second section. There's nothing in my original that sounds like that, so it's not something I would personally use or try to recreate, because like, no, at that my mind didn't go there. I enjoyed the interpretation here, but it's not something I wrote, but I do enjoy listening to it. So this whole part reminds me of Therion, the band. This part reminded me of one of my own songs here. Like throwing all those voices, it just reminded me of that. Yeah, that reminded me of, not that one. Oh, have I closed it? Hold on. Thought I had it queued up. Oh, right here. Yeah, it's like I wouldn't try to use any of that because it reminds me of so many other things. It just does not make this piece unique. So the interesting thing here is that, yeah, I like the whole direction, or not the whole direction, but what happened there in the second half, but it's not something I would use, at least not with these lyrics, because the lyrics and the interpretation with the vocals, it sounds like dark and heavy, which the first half I really enjoyed, but then the second half, yeah, it's well produced and everything, but then it goes into like things that remind me of Disturbed's singer, uh, and it the orchestration like seems a little bit too happy to what the first half actually sounds like. So if I was writing this piece of music, I would not have gone that route. But anyways, it was an interesting thing to see what it did with part of my my music, and then where it went after that. I do have another experiment that I've run since then, but I'm gonna save that to another time.